Do you want to start a food business at the comfort of your own home? Well, if you do, you are in luck. So make sure you guys keep watching. Hello friends, my name is Wilson, your friend in helping you build a thriving small business and a profitable food business. Now, before I dive into all the good stuff in building a food business from the comfort of your own home, we're talking about the licenses that you need. We're talking about the target demographic and the menu offering, all these good stuffs. Before we do that, I want to introduce you to our friends over from Pylons at ChipBot. So what is Pylons? The reason why I love Pylon so much is because Pylon allows you to embed interactive videos on your website. So then that way you can share UGC, something I always talk about. Someone that talks about you has so much more effect on you talking about yourself. You can share testimonials, you can share your own Q&A, you can share your own personalized message, all using Pylon. So then that way you can get more customers to buy from your website. So if you want to be able to hook your customers faster and get them more engaged with interactive videos, then definitely give them a shot down below. It is free to check them out, so why not? Pylons by ChipBot. Now I know a lot of you love to bake and to create something that you're passionate about, but you're stuck either in your studies or either in a 9-to-5, which you hate and have no passion for. So that's the reason why on weekends, on weekdays, and late at night, you're tinkering at your own home kitchen. And that there is no shame, because even Martha Stewart started her empire from the comfort of her own home. So it is possible, guys. But like a lot of people out there, they either just don't know how to start or where to start. Or they just do not want to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars of their hard-earned money to build a restaurant. And that's the reason why you're in luck, because in today's video, we're diving deep into how you can start a food business from the comfort of your own home. So then that way you can marry your passion and still be able to create a great living from this. Now, let's dive right in. First and foremost, is it even legal for you to sell food at your own home? That's probably everyone's question. Well, it definitely is. Definitely, guys, check out something called the Cottage Food Laws. Now, the Cottage Food Laws indicate what food items that the seller can sell, where they can sell their food, and what the earning threshold is that they must remain under to avoid triggering commercial food manufacturing laws. So what does that mean? That means that as long as you're selling a pre-approved set of items within your city, you're good to go. Now, as a disclaimer, please do not quote me on this. Make sure you do your own due diligence, do your own research, and make sure you search out what are the licenses and the requirements within your own city, because every city, every state is completely different. Another disclaimer for you guys, there are a lot of people who completely just negate these laws. They do not do their research and they just start selling stuff at their own home. And this is what is happening. This is what I'm seeing, because they want to be able to test their product. They want to see whether this is something that has legs. And it is still okay, even though I do not recommend it. The second step is to figure out your target market. Now, when it comes down to it, business is a solution to someone else's problem. For you to find out someone's problem, you must find out who this person is. And that's how you're gonna figure out what your food product, your solution, is gonna solve. Now, if you're stuck and confused as to how you can find and identify this problem, well, it's very, very common that we all start from ourselves. We find that there is a problem in the marketplace that we want a solution to. Therefore, if we can't find it, we create this solution for ourselves. And most likely, if you have that problem, other people have the same problem. For instance, if you're a vegan and you love ice cream, something that is healthy and yet flavorful, and in your city, there's not one ice cream shop that sells vegan ice cream. So what are you gonna do? This is a problem that you wanna solve. Therefore, you start making vegan ice cream at your own home. Now that you're selling vegan ice cream at your own home, you share with your friends because they have the same problem and they too are vegan, looking for something delicious, someone that has a sweet tooth, and looking for something of a tasty dessert in a hot California weather. This is when you realize that you have identified a specific target demographic. This is when you can profile all the friends that you have, profile yourself to find the common themes, and this becomes your target market. The factor of why you need to determine your target market is now that your whole operations of your business is gonna tailor to this specific demographic. We're talking about pricing, we're talking about the menu creation, the flavors you're offering, the marketing messages, the channels where you're distributing. All this good stuff is going to be built around serving this one target demographic because they have this particular of a taste and profile. The third step is to be able to pick a product that has high demand. Just because you love the product, your friend loves the product, doesn't mean that the public likes the product. At the end of the day, if you choose an item that is very, very niche, that is very, very, very specific, sometimes it's very hard to gain traction. It's going to be an uphill battle because it's going to be very hard to locate this type of people that would want to buy your item. At the end of the day, we want to choose an item that has high in demand. For instance, something that is in high demand, chicken wings. Something that is more niched, balut. And if you guys are looking for more ideas, proven ideas that are in high demand, then definitely check out this video where I talk about the different ideas. Now, how do you verify that there is demand for your product? There are so many different channels, and to name a few, Instagram is a really, really big resource. Utilize their hashtags, utilize the influencers, utilize Facebook groups, utilize serving your target demographic. So many ways, but it is your job to validate whether there is a demand for your specific product. That means people willing to pay you money for your product. Now, speaking about demand and food businesses online, we have created an online training specifically for you. This training is free for you to attend, over an hour long, showing you how do you validate your idea. How do you sell food online, and how do you actually make a profitable living just selling something that you're passionate about? So definitely, if you guys are interested in building this food business, then check it out in the link below. Now that we have identified who it is that are buying our product, we have identified this product is amazing, vegan ice cream is beautiful. Now it is our time to design the menu. What exactly will you be offering? The biggest pitfall that I see with all my students is the fact that they have their ideas running everywhere. They want to create an item, a menu item specifically for everyone. So what did they do? They end up creating 10 different flavors, 10 different products altogether. This is something of a big no-no, guys, because when you do that, you're going to split your resources. You're not going to do one thing really well. You do not know what sells, what is going to gain that traction. And that's the reason why I recommend always starting with 1 to 3 products. 1 to 3 products, and to find your hero item. Just to share a quick story with you about our ice cream shop. In the beginning, we had many flavors. This was a newbie mistake. We had over 10 flavors. Yet when we were studying what brought in the most money, what were people buying? 80% of all our sales were on the 2 flavors, our milk tea and our green tea. And this is a classic example of what Pareto law is, that 80% is usually accounted by only 20% of your items. So when we know that, what are we gonna do? We're gonna focus our attention on creating these 2 products really, really well. And that's the reason why for you, if you're having and if you're already selling, do not expand your menu to 10 plus items. Trim it down to 1 or 2 of your most popular items. Now, if you think that having 1 or 2 items is boring, it is okay because we can offer different variations of the same product. We're talking about, do you want to sell it in pints, in 2 pints, in 6 pints? Let's say if you're selling cookies, are we selling bundles of cookies for 6 cookies, 12 cookies, gift boxed? All these are great variations of that one hero product. 2 things that you must understand when creating your menu and to consider is your operation. Is your operation going to be efficient? If you have many different flavors, what's going to happen is you're going to need a lot of different ingredients. And when you have a lot of different ingredients, that means higher cost and higher wastage. The second thing to consider when doing your menu is feedback. This is something that a lot of people have oversight on. They think they work in a vacuum of only themselves. That is very flawed. Instead, what do we want to do? We would always want to ask for feedback. Always getting feedback from your customers. Whenever you have an item, you deliver and you sell an item, ask for feedback. They're going to tell you, hey, you know what? This vegan ice cream, it does not have enough flavor. You know what? The next batch, you can have more flavors. You're going to ask for feedback again, and they're going to tell you, hey, you know what? The texture is not creamy enough. And then through iterations, through this feedback loop, what's going to happen? After 10 variations, you are gonna have yourself a very good product that everyone else would love because it's gone through this vigorous feedback loop. This is something that a lot of people, especially first-time food owners, they do not do. They do not put their menu through this rigorous feedback loop. Now that you have identified your menu, it is time for some fun. Go out there and create your brand. Make sure you guys take notes because I'm going to be sharing something very valuable and resourceful for you right now. Now, before we dive into that, let's make sure we smash the like button. So then that way we can show more people that you enjoyed this video. So then that way I can create more of these videos for you. Now, for us to create our brand, how do we do that? First of all, it is to create a name. Many different ways to create a name, but create a name that you're passionate about. Create a name that you are going to be okay with for the next few years. It doesn't matter what it is, but you just need to own it and love it. Now, the biggest pitfall right here is that a lot of people, they let their name, their business name, procrastinate the progression. Because you can't find the right name, what's going to happen is that you're going to keep delaying your business launching. And this is only an excuse for yourself. So what am I gonna do, and what do I usually recommend my students do? I let them have 2 weeks. Within 2 weeks' time, they must decide on their name. This way, when you set a deadline for yourself, you're not gonna be able to procrastinate. This allows you to actually make progression in your food business. Now that you've chosen your name, what are we gonna do? We're gonna make sure that we have all the different social media handles for it. Now, how do you do that? Instead of you going to multiple different websites, we're talking about TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, all these different platforms to figure out whether your name is going to be available or not, you guys must check out this website called namecheck.com. Simply, you put in your name and it shows you right here all the different accounts that is available at. It's gonna save you so much time because of that. And if you guys find this helpful, make sure you guys smash the like button so then that way I can share more tools like this for you in the future videos. Now that we've figured out all the different accounts that we must register for, it is time to create your logo, create all the designs. A website that I highly recommend you guys check out is Fiverr.com to find your designers. They have very talented designers that you can actually hire at a very low cost. Now that we have those set up, it is so important for you to actually set up your website. Now, when it comes to setting up your website, I highly recommend using Square Online. They are not a sponsor of this video, and yet I'm still raving about them because they're that good. They're easy to use. They are created specifically for food businesses as well. And that's the reason why I love them. Not only can you actually connect your point of sale terminals to it if you have a restaurant, but if you're only selling food online, they are still a very great option. Now, best of all is the fact that they have a tiered system. A lot of people ask me, hey Wilson, why don't you recommend using Shopify over Square? And the reason is because when you're using Square, you do not need to pay a monthly subscription fee for their lowest tier. And for a lot of food businesses, you just don't need that level of subscription. And that's the reason why I highly recommend using Square. And by the way, as a disclaimer, guys, when you do sign up using my link below, I do get a small commission fee from them, but that's not the reason why I'm promoting this. The reason why I'm promoting this is because I use them myself with all my food businesses and they're that great. What I'm gonna use with the commission that we receive is we're gonna create more of these videos specifically to serve you. So definitely guys, check them out in the link below. The final step, guys, after you create your brand, it is time to market your business. Now, as a prerequisite, you must be able to have finished doing the research on your target market, identified them, because now we're going to be able to hit them in all angles. There are 4 channels where we want to hit your customers. First channel is on Instagram. Everyone uses Instagram and you want to make sure that you have a presence there. Features that I highly recommend is the Reels and also the IG Stories. Second is to make sure that your website is up and running to the way that it should. We're talking about having it mobile responsive. And the reason why is because majority of the people nowadays, when they check their website, they're doing it on their phones. And that's the reason why you must have it as mobile responsive. And on top of that, the design needs to be functional and also aesthetic. And if you guys are using Square, then all of that is taken care of. So make sure you guys check it out in the link below as well. The third channel to utilize is email. Email newsletter is a goldmine, guys. Definitely check out this blog article because it shows you that email accounts for majority of the sales. And for you as an online food business, it is going to be your profit generator. Something I highly recommend for you guys to do is to create a welcome series. How does that look like? Well, when every time someone subscribes on your email list, what's gonna happen is you're gonna send them a presetted amount of emails. We're talking about 3 to 4 different emails sharing with your subscribers why you're doing it, who you are, what are your values, what is it that you're selling, what are some of the UGC, user generated content. So then that way you can give a full background for people who subscribed to your brand. So then that way they can get caught up with your story and have much more buy-in, much more loyalty, and they're gonna look forward to seeing more of your emails in the days to come. This has proven to be much more effective than you all of a sudden just promoting something, selling something without establishing that relationship initially with your subscribers. Now that you have your welcome series set up, it is time for you to create a habit. Create a habit of customers regularly opening up your emails. What does that mean? That means you must send regular emails on the weekly basis. You do not want to show up at your customers and your subscribers' email box only every time you have a sale, only every time you're promoting something, because people don't like that. People don't want to be sold. You must establish a relationship. And that's the reason why having weekly emails to share with them your newest flavor, your newest promotion, or the newest behind the scenes that you're doing. These are all great content that you can share and to establish that relationship. And finally, guys, the 4th channel to utilize is TikTok. It is the fastest growing channel out there. And the reason why it is growing so fast, and even you not having much followers and you coming in with basically no background, you can still go viral. You can still be found by the whole algorithm because that's what they do. As long as you're consistent, as long as you are creative with your TikTok channel and your own creations, then you are good to go. And a pro tip for you guys is for you to focus on creating a really great TikTok and then repurpose and post it on Instagram Reels. And this has proven to be working really well on both of these platforms. Now I have went over a lot of details with you guys, the essential on starting a home-based food business. But in no way can I dive deep into the details and all the nuts and bolts on creating that food business. And that's the reason why I welcome you and invite you to our free masterclass. This is over an hour long of information, tactical steps on how do you start a home-based food business and selling food online. Definitely, guys, check it out in the link below. If you do not know where to start your food business, this is the place to go. Thank you so much for